All right, I made it. I made it. I made it to Sunday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, March 29th. I wondered if I was going to make it on the air here, trying to get ready for the show after a busy, crazy day. And hope you guys had a great day of sports betting on Saturday. I know we did here at Tony'sPicks.com. I had a pretty nice day there. I see myself on top of the leaderboards, trying to figure out where to get the next winners here for us tomorrow. Hopefully, you guys had a great day as well. Uh, Obviously, the big NCAA tournament scores tonight with our pair of games here in the Elite Eight, and we're back at it again on Sunday. But man, some pretty good games. I know they kind of pulled away there late, and ended up covering the spread, talking about those home teams, but certainly still it was pretty good games. I thought both those underdogs did pretty well. Talk about those matchups here right now, and then we'll get into the previews here for the action on Sunday with more Elite Eight action, of course, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. I think we're previewing them all here tonight, so stick around for a couple of hours with me trying to figure out who these pitchers are tomorrow. Who are these guys going tomorrow? Are we getting old or are the pitchers getting younger? Who are these guys tomorrow? All right. Thanks for joining me in the chat as well. We'll give them a few minutes in here. We got maybe a dozen so far. So let's wrap up the action from Sunday with our games here in the. I can't claim any winners here on the show. The NCAA tournament had the over in both games. Should have known better. But nonetheless, Arizona with the 79-64 win there over Purdue Wildcats, outscored Purdue in the second half 48-26. Boilers of just 40% inside the arc. Arizona was crisp at the foul line with a 20 for 22 night. Arizona going back to the Final Four. That's where this is Arizona basketball, man. They haven't been there since 2001, and this is where Arizona deserves to be. So the Cats are back in the Final Four here. Also, Illinois over Iowa, 71-59. Another one where the Illini pulls away late. Iowa scared them early with a 12-2 lead, but Illinois smooth as silk, hitting those threes and also inside the arc. Remember, they do it in and out, right? 61% inside the arc, extremely efficient offensively there. Illinois led the boards. Of course they did, right? 38-21. So the Illini, funny, I think they're going back to the Final Four for the first time since 2005. You'd think that Arizona would be there since the last time Illinois has been there. Not the case. So the Illini, I'm trying to remember what team that was. I might have, we might have like a Chat GPT segment where we can just look up stuff. That's what we were doing tonight. It's pretty fun. So Illinois going back to the Final Four as well here, and we'll find out who's going here on Sunday, and we'll preview the games here tomorrow between Tennessee and Michigan and Connecticut and Duke. Get your picks ready in the chat, and cover a little Major League Baseball. Why not? Here from Saturday's action. We did have some winners here on Night Moves, including Colorado and Miami. Game total under was a winner for us there. Look at this Colorado. I was thinking about it. Colorado was able to hang in there. And then Miami ends up getting the win by the score of 3-2 or 4-3 in the game, right? But Colorado, what a disservice, man. You think about their fan support and that stadium and what it's meant to Denver, and the team never returns it. The team never returns it. They never go get that player. They never keep that player. And it's just a constant churn. I'm thinking of Bud Black and, how many years he spent there, loyal to them. And, he's back with the Padres. But they just never end up spending the money, just not even one, like a token free agent or something. How disrespectful, and ask those fans to keep coming back. I know I've got it wrong in a way because that's not totally how Rockies fans feel, but just to see, and again, another way they, how they lose the games and everything too there against Miami today. They deserve better there in Colorado. Miami got the win. We had the under there for a win in that one of 7.5. Also, night moves winners here yesterday included the Athletics in their game against Toronto. We had the A's on the run line there in that one as the A's were able to it was a wild game, actually. Final score was 8-7, but the A's actually led 6-2 after 6.5. But then Toronto scores basically a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th, and 1 in the 11th to win it 8-7 over the A's. Couldn't get anybody out in the end there. Night moves winner, Houston Astros, all over the Angels, 11-9. Another crazy game there with that one as Houston ends up scoring 8 runs in the 6th inning, win the game 11-9. Angels had a big threat in the top of the 9th with 3 runs there. I had the under over at Tony's Picks, one of the few losses that I did have on the day. I didn't see him coming. It was actually 3-0 Angels at the end of 4, and then all the runs broke loose in the 5th and the 6th innings there in that one. Late night winner here, Guardians and Mariners game to go over. Last night we had the over with Cantillo and Wu. Night moves winner here as well with the Yankees over the Giants. How about the Giants? Congratulations. They scored a run. 3-1 was the final there. Yankees get the win. Warren over Molly. Do want to mention not a night or night moves winner. Believe it or not, Braves 6, Royals 2, Grand Slam. Dominic Smith walk off less than 2 weeks after his mother passed away. Real nice moment there for Smith. Atlanta scored 6 runs in the bottom 9th inning, capped off with a Grand Slam by Dominic Smith. There in that one. So we stayed under somehow there in that game. We also had the under with Chicago White Sox, Milwaukee Brewers with Burke and Patrick. We went under for a winner there in that one. And also that was it in baseball. I had premium winner. Here it is. Premium winner. I went 1-1 in baseball with our picks over at Tony's Picks. Premium winner, Tigers and Padres under. Padres got the win, 3-0 behind Randy Vasquez, former Yankee. Got it done. Mason Miller, he's got a new closer's entrance. You got to have a good closer's entrance. And Padres were able to win 3-0 to salvage a game from the Tigers here. The comments are rolling in. Good to see everyone in the chat. By the way, I mentioned in that Cleveland game that it was the late game against Seattle there, Chase DeLauder homered again in that game in the 10th inning. He came up big there for Cleveland. He's the second player ever with 4 home runs in his first 3 major league games. The only other guy to do that is a pretty good one still around, Trevor Story. So Luke Raley also has homered in each of his first 3 games. It's funny. You think of the Mariners, in their first 2 games this season for you've caught this one. The Seattle Mariners in their first 2 games of the season had basically, I think, one single they had in the first couple games of the season. The Tampa Bay Rays had 0. Seattle had 0 singles in their first 2 games. 0. We know how they do it. They hit home runs. The Tampa Bay Rays had 16 singles in their first game, and that's not a fluke. All right, some teams can hit and some teams can't, and that's going to be a problem in the long run. Now, great, Mariners again lose again. We're telling you right now, I'm sorry, the Mariners. I don't know if they're way overrated at this point, but the way we talk about them, it feels like it. So let's see. I think there were some games we didn't have winners of, but I wanted to cover a little bit. Mets over the Pirates 4-2. Luis Robert walk-off home run. It was 0-0 after 9 innings. Pirates were 2 of 18 in scoring with runners in scoring position in that one. Let's see here. Langoliers homered in that win for us, and with the A's there on the run line against Toronto with the Springs and Cease there. And he had 4 RBI for the A's in that one. Let's see here. Didn't win this one, but Phillies tied the game in the 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth against the Rangers, but the Rangers came back to still win it. Jacob deGrom got scratched in that one for Jacob Latz, a couple of Jacobs, but Latz had to pitch. deGrom had a bad pillow apparently last night. Let's see here. What else with some game? Cardinals and Rays there didn't win that one, but the Cards, JJ Weatherholt again, he didn't get a curtain call because he walked off the game. He had the game-winning walk-off single there for St. Louis. Weatherholt looks like a player for the Cardinals. They find guys that can play right away, right? They're the Cardinals. McGreevy, 6 innings pitched, didn't even allow a hit. I was talking up Tampa Bay. They still tied the game with 4 runs in the 9th inning, so you never sleep on Tampa Bay. I had Tampa Bay in the game. They end up losing it 6-5, but the Rays will come back on you like that. And Reds and Red Sox went 11 there. I had the under in that one. It ended up 6-5 and 11. It was 5-3 after the 6th inning. Reds led. Abreu, home run, 2 RBI for the Sox in that one. And how about a bad day for home plate umpire CB Buckner? He had 8 pitches challenged and 6 of them were overturned. And he's from that old crew. Those guys that couldn't see that you guys are talking about in the chat, all the blind umpires that got fired. CB Buckner, you're next. All right, here we go. We got maybe a dozen and a half. Yeah, let me say hello and see if we can get some. I'm going to do some more recap until we get some people in here. Like, share, and subscribe right now here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Moonman's here. He's ready. Lost my studio light. I might have to touch myself up with a button down here. I have a button to make me look better now. Let's see here. Moonman. He's a new. I've converted one person. The AFL is, the thing was with the AFL. Back in the day when ESPN kind of lacked sometimes some pro sports, and I had to fill 24 hours and all they had was Sports Center. You didn't have 3 hours of talking heads every day. And of course, in the middle of the night, you'd see Australian football. I mean, so it was something that was like ESPN programming at the middle of the night. So I took to it right away and didn't even worry about betting. But I think the card's over for the night. Actually, we just saw Melbourne Demons rock Carlton. Carlton was my favorite team. I guess I could say growing up. I'm pretty sure I was in my teens watching those games on ESPN, AFL games. But Melbourne just beat Carlton 100-77. It just ended a few minutes ago. We were watching. There was also some rugby just ended here a few moments ago. And there's a match right now here, as a matter of fact, with Gold Coast and St. George. Illawarra Dragons didn't have a play on it here, but I don't know if it's on. I have to go to the illegal streams, I think, for that one. Hello to Victor Rojas. Hello. And Larry Martin's here. Timmy Two Shoes, ready to roll tonight. And Arizona to Smash says LALV. Hey, I had them there. I had them on our show, but I did have Arizona there. Check me out on the Cover the Spread show on YouTube. And let's see here, LALB going with those Dodger plays here. And Mr. Wesker's joining us here tonight. Find him in all the best sports chat rooms up and down YouTube. Up One Money joining us here. And Padres fans should not criticize the Giants, says Mr. Weskers. Let's see here. Giants are not good, says Timmy Two Shoes. Hello to Tim in the chat. Good to have Tim in here. And let's see who else. It might be it. Might have just a regular crew in here. Not too many new, any unfamiliar names anyway. And looks like Mr. Westers wants out. That's okay, man. We'll make it without you, brother. All right. Let's see here. All right, I guess that's it from the chat there. Okay, we'll get ready to move on here a little bit. I'm gonna stretch it out now a little bit, thanks to Mr. Westerns. Let's stretch it out. Let's make it a little bit longer here, okay? Take a look at some of the winners we had in the NBA with the Bucks and the Spurs. Game total under. That was a winner here on the show yesterday. Also, we had the winners with. Oh, it was a push there in Sacramento. I had a winner over there at Tony's Picks with the Detroit Pistons premium winner, Detroit all over Minnesota. You know, once they ruled that Duran was going to be in the lineup, all of a sudden it was all Pistons money. You knew it was good to go. And once that came in, I immediately filed my play as well. All we were waiting on was that Duran news. He's in. And the Pistons rocked on the road, 109-87 over Minnesota. Also, a winner here on the show with the, let's see here. That was it. That was it for the NBA. Let's go over to choicepicks.com and wait for a few more folks to come in. But also, let's see who was hot. I know I was hot, so but let's see who else was on top of those handicapper leaderboards over at Tony's Picks. I think I went 8-2-1 here. I know I did. That crazy fight there in the UFC, but did go 3-1-1 there. Oh, there it is. Oh, let's see. Oh, 7-2-1 here, maybe. Okay, that's fine. That's a good day over for me. I lead the handicapper leaderboards. 7-2-1. I think there was another winner in there, though. We'll have to check it out. Maybe it was that fight. Maybe I had a push and there was that fight. I know I have the. Let me see what's going on here in hockey. Now I'm confused a little bit. Winners here on the show included premium pick winner San Jose and Columbus game to go under. We had that winner yesterday. We also had the Sharks on the puck line there against the Blue Jackets as the Sharks were able to get the 3-2 win on the road in that one. Also, Night Moves winner here with Dallas against Pittsburgh. Man, Dallas rocked Pittsburgh 6-3. Also, we had over in Minnesota and Boston is Boston 6-3 over the Wild at home. They keep going. Kraken and the Sabres. Premium pick winner on the under there is the Sabres. Win again 3-2 over the Kraken. We did have the winner with the Kraken here on Night Moves on the puck line. And also, Night Moves winner St. Louis Blues winning again at home 5-1. They crushed the Leafs, actually. We had a premium pick winner on the over 5.5 there in that one. Hopefully, you got the 5.5 or at least bought it down. That's what we had a 5.5 juiced as our premium pick winner there, but did land 6 there. Some people may have gotten a push, but don't forget, you can get those in hockey. Some books do have alternate lines available. Don't want to pay too much juice on that. But we had the Flyers over the Red Wings, 5-3. Winner for the Philly on the road. Big win for them. They're still trying. Utah rocked the Kings again. 6-2. Kings, man, they're going to fall out of this playoff situation here right now, unfortunately, for the Kings. Bad timing. And the Capitals, shootout win over the Knights. We had the Capitals here on the show last night. Nick Lagarettos 8-4 on the day for 3 3/4 units. David Racy 8-5, 3.5 units. Damon Sosh undefeated 3-0, 3 1/4 units. Throwing some dogs in there. Double Shooty 5-2, up 3 units. Tony T 3-0. He's been, man, it's been a run here for Tony for a couple weeks now. Kevin Thomas 4-3, Brian Bittler 2-1, Chris Atkins 2-1, Ron Hahn won his only play, and Joey Tron in the green on Saturday. Last 7 days, Nick Lagarettos up nearly 11.5 units. Bo Dunn up 10 units. He's really crushing since rejoining the Tony's team. Tony, there it is. I told you. I mean, look at just this week, 14-4. Up over almost 9.5 units. Double Shooty up over 6 units. Brian Bittler. If I didn't have that, I did have a 1-7 there last week, and that's the only thing keeping me off. That day's about to fall off the weekly leaderboard here, but I had a clunker in there last week, ruined a perfectly good stretch with a bad day. I had a 3-day stretch where we really crushed it, and then gave it all back. Gave a lot back in one day, keeping me off this weekly leaderboard here right now. But Brian Bittler up there, 12-6, nearly 6 units of profit. Last 30 days, There's Brian Bittler up there, almost 17 units of profit. Shane Mickle, 13 and a third units of profit. Kevin Thomas up 7.5 units of profit. Bo Dunn up 7 units this month. And Stephen Duncan, anybody seen him? No sign of Stephen for 12 days right now. I hope he's okay. Anybody catch tonight at the UFC? I'm going to take a look at my winners here a little bit and see what they were. But at the UFC, when Bruce Buffer announced the incorrect winner of the fight, and didn't even realize it until he kind of walked out of the ring, had to regroup, gather the fighters back. The referee even had to put back on his rubber gloves to lift the man's hand, as Buffer had to, I apologize. He yelled in the microphone as he had to repeat the correct scoreboard. Okay, I had the main event, Joe Piper over Izzy. I had Piper in that one, plus money there. Too bad for Izzy, man. It wasn't so much, before fighting good fighters, but it was slow and low quick and I said it right here as my preview. I said, take the up-and-coming dog over the fading star. And look, Izzy said he's not going anywhere, but where's he going to go at this point after that? Piper's a nice fighter. He's going to get a top 5 shot, but it was about the slow speed of Izzy. Got tagged in there as well. I had the under with the Padres here. Also, I had Belgurui over the prospect Abdul Malik. There's that Angel loss. Here's the winner with the Blues, 5-1. I had a loss I know Mills had Tyrell Fortune. He interviewed him, a great interview by Mills this week. And I still couldn't get it out of my mind about Tybur. And here's a night where, we saw some young guys win. So great job by Mills. I know he had Fortune. I didn't look yet, but I know he had Fortune in that fight. And I wrote it down. I looked at it. Mills took it. I mean, that was his call, and it was a great call. And should have listened to him. He interviews a fighter, right? It's should have been automatic. Why would I fade that? I didn't fade it, but I mean, why wouldn't I take that? Sterling and Lopes, I had the over there. That one did go the distance. Sterling looked good. Winner here with Detroit. Also, this fight, Ricky Simon and Adrian Yanez goes to the cards, and it's a majority draw there. 28-28, 28-28, and 29-28 for a majority draw. And it was a ripoff job there, as Adrian Yanez definitely beat my man, Ricky Simon. He beat him. I don't know what the judges were watching there in that one. I'm saying my guy lost. He did. He lost. Also, we had the winner here under in the Sharks and the Blue Jackets. All right, let's get to it. We've got enough here. Enough of me whining about. Well, I mean, it wasn't whining. My guy lost the fight, but he got a break. All right, I think everyone's happy in the chat, except for Mr. Westers, making everyone miserable. All right, get to the previews here right now. With our card on Sunday, we're going to start with college basketball. Oh, by the way, use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages, including mine here on Sunday. All right. Tennessee Volunteers is going to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Elite 8 action here on Sunday with the Wolverines favored by 7. And the total here, 146.5. Midwest Regional here at the United Center on Sunday, 2:15 Eastern, 11:15 Pacific on CBS. All right, we know Michigan. I mean, what can you say? Just 2 losses all season here for the Wolverines. Tennessee, they were one of the teams that, I don't know, I might have been saying, hey, maybe the Wolverines, maybe the Volunteers should be left out of the NCAA tournament the way they close the regular season. But you got to hand it to Rick Barnes. Just had to get there with this guy. That's what happens with him, it seems like. Wolverines have won 20 of their last 22. They're the number 2 inside scoring team in the country, and that's not exactly awful for Tennessee. Michigan's number 6 effective field goal defense is a problem. Our number 3, whatever they are, they're top 5 defense for sure and offense in the country. So Wolverines 18-3 against top 50s, scoring 88.7 points per game in those 3 tournament wins so far over Alabama, St. Louis, and Howard. You're playing Howard, that's fine. You're playing St. Louis, but when they got engaged with Alabama, they played more like Alabama than Alabama played like Alabama. You could wonder, maybe it's a little, you play a game like that. Still went under, by the way. We had the under, but 90 points. You say maybe that was a little excessive, not scoring, but just the type of game you have to play. And now you're playing. Tennessee had to play too. They played Iowa State though, a little bit different style of play, but did win 76-62 as a 2.5-point dog. They also beat UVA and Miami O, of course. Michigan just 13-18 against the spread as a favorite this season. Tennessee 3-2 ATS as a dog. Michigan 2-1 in the Elite Eight in the last 3. It's been since 2013. They got there 3 times, and well, we know Dusty May's been here before. The last 5 years, number 1 seeds are 9-2 against the spread in Elite Eight games. Usually the number 1 seed gets it done with authority in the Elite Eight round. Now, Tennessee was looking pretty bad there, right, for a time there at the end of the season, losing games left and right. You wondered if they were going to make the tournament. Yes, of course they were, but the thing about this matchup, though, that is so different is that Tennessee is the number 1 team in the country in offensive rebounding. This is an area where Michigan usually kills every team, right? This is what makes them so good this year, even in the Big Ten, which has been awesome, by the way. But now you got a situation here a little bit. I just think Tennessee can stay within the number because they'll be able to match up inside and not let that Michigan interior be so dominant. Now, the Vols are only a top 30 effective field goal defense, which, that's pretty good still, but maybe not like some of the other Big Ten teams are a little bit better than that. Tennessee, though, allowed just 63 points in those games, in their tournament games. Vols were 12-9 against top 50s, 13-3 in non-conference games. Tennessee 25-5 when they score 70 or more. If you look at the score here, it's supposed to be about 77-70. So it's right there, but that is interesting. That's an interesting stat. Maybe here, how about this? If they score 69, probably going to lose. If they score 70, they might win. But 25-5, and they're mostly beaten up on other teams. But like I said, I just think that they have the ability to stay in there on the boards for sure. And while Michigan might be a top 25 tempo team, you're not getting that with the Volunteers. They are pretty much 300th in tempo. Michigan's 25th. Tennessee is 300th in tempo. They don't want you to. They're not going to be going up and down with you. They are not. I know I went over yesterday in both games, but I'm going under in this one. I've got to go under here. And last 2 years, remember, Tennessee has been to the Elite Eight. That's the thing. They're not inexperienced here. Now, they did lose by 6 points and by 19 points in those last 2 trips here. Last 2 years, remember, to the Elite Eight. Tennessee is no joke. All right, so I'm taking the under, but man, you heard me there. I think I'm talking that Tennessee has what it takes to stay in. Let me go to the chat, see if I'm right or wrong here. All right. Who's going first here? Mr. Weskers, of course. right? Tennessee. Tim says Tennessee for an upset here. Here's Timmy Two Shoes, volunteers first half. See how it goes. See, now all of a sudden everybody's on Tennessee. We probably should go back to Michigan. All right. Let's see. Hopefully they stay ahead and can catch Michigan 2.5. Hey, you hit the middle. Hit the midi right there. Okay. Dogs are hitting outright in the first half, says Mr. Wesker. Says both happened today, right? That's what made it good games today. Those guys were off to good starts. And kind of the theme though, remember how we've talked about it all year, every show, right? When I do the recap, this team came back from 15 down at halftime. This team came back down from double digits. Comebacks are the name of the game. All right, Jimmy Akehouse, you think Michigan could beat Arizona? Woo! Oh, man, I thought Arizona, Koa Pete. I mean, look, Koa Pete, I don't want to say he's underachieving. He's such a young player, but he comes through. The rest of the team came through too. But hello to Lamar Hampton in the chat. Cal Dog, buying up here with the balls. Make sure you get an extra point with them. Take them up to 8. All right, let's see here. Anything else? Tennessee and Illinois killing the bracket here. And hey, Illinois came hard here with that lineup that they had. That's a deep. You got Stojakovic in there. You got Tennessee money line and under, says Larry. Lamar likes the under as well. I'm with Lamar, I think, on this one. Mr. Wesker, no, Mr. Wesker, you guys are the boss. I'm listening to you guys. Right? I'm nothing. Look, we started the show here when we moved back to Tony's with not much of a chat. If no one would have showed up, probably would have just told Tony, hey, maybe we'll try a different time slot or a different show. I'll have to wake up in the middle of the morning and do a show after or something. All right. Remember, we used to be on. I'm so happy, and I want to say honored that Tony kept that time slot going. That says a lot not about me at all. That says about why you need to be on. You need to have a show at that hour, right? Okay, let's see here. Anybody else? Is that it? Illinois is going to shock them all. They looked very capable. But hey, Tim, you're right. That was different tonight, but that's what Yep, and look at that, and that's what Timmy Two Shoes says there too. Iowa did fall asleep, but credit Illinois there in that one as well. I'm left with 2 futures now, the only ones we talked about there. I guess I got to root for the Duke $360 payout. All right, that's it for that. That's it for the first game. Let's get a long show here. Let's go. Connecticut Huskies, Duke Blue Devils. You guys are already talking about them. Might as well move on to this one. East Regional here in Washington, D.C., the toughest ticket in the NCAA tournament for this game right here. Duke, just like Michigan here, 32-2. Connecticut, 29-5, and all that experience. Don't forget, I mean, they've got Caravan. The 2-time champion, right? I mean, this guy's held the trophy before twice, and he was a player on those teams. I mean, a player, not just a player. But they're still going to be an underdog against Duke. Remember, Duke's they had players missing here for several, games, key players that are back now. I'm not saying that they, forgot about him or anything of that. Are those points back in the line here? Or are they just kind of going with Connecticut's great team? I already, talked them up here for sure. There's no doubt about it. But it does kind of feel like maybe, give Connecticut credit here. I don't know if I want to, but I'm going to credit Hurley. We can talk about it with the chat a little bit, but all right. Duke, though, went 19-15 ATS this season. Connecticut 12-22 against the spread this season. Now, they were 0-0 as an underdog. Now, I don't know what that says about the fact that, here they are an underdog for the first time. So, you could say, well, you know what? You're getting the points now, and look how good they are. They were never an underdog. But more likely is, why aren't you an underdog? Because you didn't play anybody that was better than you, except St. John's, but that didn't count because the odds makers blew it. St. John's is better. They're still better than Connecticut right now, right this second. So I think that says a lot here about Connecticut. Yeah, Duke, they're not in the Big Ten or anything, but 15-13 against the spread is a favorite. Duke's won 14 in a row, 15-1 in non-conference games. They're number 13 effective field goal percentage team, number 12 effective percentage defense field goal wise. Duke's total losses were by 1 and 2 points. So 16-2 versus teams ranked in the top 50. Blue Devils shoot 60% from the inside, number 7 in the country. And they're here again, like I said, those last 5 years, those number 1 seeds, 9-2 against the spread in the Elite 8 round. For Duke, they are 2-3 in their last 5 appearances in the Elite 8 straight up. Huskies 10-4 in their last 14 after that 22-1 start as the games got tougher. Connecticut, top 35 effective field goal percentage offense, number 7 defensively in that category. Huskies went 12-1 in non-conference games. Connecticut does not get to the foul line. They only got 16.5% of their points from the foul line this season. They are 333rd in that category out of 365 teams. It is a factor. That's because they don't get a lot of calls, because they don't want to give Hurley any calls ever. Because when you're a little guy like that, you know what? You referee from the back of your mind, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't stand this guy. I'm not giving him any calls. The intimidation is not going to make me give him any more. In fact, I'm going to give him less. Huskies went 9-3 against top 50s. They played 3 of their starters 32 minutes or more in Friday's win. So they've won 2 of the last 3 national titles, man. And give them credit, all the credit in the world. But I don't know about this one. Duke is 10-18 to the under as a favorite, and I think this one it's a little bit dangerous here. This total getting as low as it is, but man, I don't know if I can go under here. I might have to go over actually, just because of the number. I usually would be probably dead set on the under here, but there's going to be some foul game. I'm going to take the over in this one with Connecticut and Duke. Much as I want to take, I want to take the under. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go over in this one, and I think it will be in the late game play. I think it gets over in the foul game a little bit. I think Duke has a lead. Duke has a lead close to a cover. Connecticut forced to foul. No playing out the clock. They'll still be close enough, probably within single digits, to keep on fouling. Desperate Hurley. Okay, where's the comments from the chat? Arizona over Duke, says Tim back there. Mr. Weskers is going to be on Hurley here. He loves him. Hey, two peas in a pod, birds of a feather. Cal Dogs on Duke. Cal Dogs on the over. Remember what I said. You know what? I think Bobby Hurley is my favorite Hurley. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Bobby Hurley deserves a look. Danny Hurley's a championship coach. Bobby Hurley wasn't. Bobby Hurley deserves a job somewhere. He might have gotten jobbed at Arizona State, actually. Boozer over. God, Boozer, man, what a player, huh? We talked about, chip off the old block, him and his brother, but it does make a difference when you have, and you can see his dad in the crowd, man. Okay, Duke and Connecticut over. Duke minus 5.5, says Larry. Duke should win there. And Mr. Wester's, he's also a big fan of officials. He loves officials. A big supporter of officiating. Duke money line, Boozer over. Dallas Stars for 3-1 there. Great, Timmy. Thank you with that that parlay. All right, that's it. All right, under in the first game, over in the second game. Let's get on with it. Going to go to the major leagues first. I still have baseball fever here at the start of the season. So until we get to the postseason, it might be baseball first. Colorado Rockies on the road taking on Miami Marlins. Major League Baseball action here for Sunday as we get rolling with this card. And does I get the right game? Oh no. I've already screwed it up, haven't I? All right, we'll just stay with this game. I know I've messed up the order here, I think. Oh. Yeah, there's like 5 games before this one. That's all right. We were talking about the Rockies, anyways. There, and they're great fans, and they're terrible ownership. All right, Miami did win the first 2 so far of this series. Going to throw Meyer in here. Max Meyer was looked pretty good there, I thought, and obviously has a big future to go here. And look, I mean, okay, you got me, Colorado. You got, Jose Quintana. Okay, he's like your big money player. As sad as that sounds right now, and Miami, huge favorite here, actually $1.85 because of it. I mean, even that's a little bit egregious. I would think here. I mean, love what Miami's done so far in this series, but I don't know if I'm buying that necessarily here on Sunday, but so far so good for this, for some of this Miami lineup as well. Jacob Marcy so far looking pretty strong here. Also, Norby, Connor Norby's really looked good here so far for Miami, and Sandoa as well. Some of these guys, they didn't get a lot of hits there, but they got the big hits in the game to beat Colorado here on Saturday. So let's see though what you think here in this one with Colorado coming in taking on Miami, and for Quintana probably kind of a neutral matchup with this lineup with Marcy, Edwards, Ramirez, Hicks, Lopez, KC, Conine, Norby, and Pauly. But I would think here for Meyer, pretty good, when you're facing a bottom 3 lineup like the Colorado Rockies here. Although I'll give a couple guys a chance in here, like Hunter Goodman today. Also Ezekiel Tovar, pretty decent matchup here, I think, for Colorado. Brenton Doyle as well, I think, also pretty good situation for him. That those guys on that side of the plate, Kyle Karros as well, I think can have a decent matchup here against Meyer. So I don't know. This feels to me, I mean, $1.85, I get it, and they'll probably win again. But when I can take Colorado probably on the run line again, I'm probably willing to do it and just figure, hey, maybe they can win, maybe not. But I don't think they're going to get beat necessarily by more than a run here in this one. So, look, we've got to have a few more runs today, don't we? I'm going to take the Rockies here, plus the 1.5 again. Just as we did. That's what we did yesterday, right? Don't me miss it here. Yeah, just as we did yesterday. It still stayed under. It might be more runs today. Let's see what you guys have here. Sorry about. I know you guys are all ready, and you guys have the right order ready, and I blew it. Okay, here we go. Mr. Weskers is on the Marlins on the run line. He's on the Marlins on the run line. Cal Dog's on the Rangers. Tim's crediting those Rockies fans, and they love their sports in Denver. Rockies run line here with Timmy. Larry Martin's on the Marlins. Rockies team total over there for Timmy. Rockies on the run line. And Mr. Weskers says backing the Rockies is like crossing a minefield in Iran. How can we not have? How can a country that has totally won the war already, totally decimated their army, and they can't control a little piece of Hormuz waterway that's like 10 miles wide? Something doesn't add up. Okay, Timmy Two Shoes likes the over. I know there's a bunch of drones. I mean, how somebody's not telling the truth here. All right, Cal Dog doesn't like either team. All right, and that's going to do it. I think for that one, I'm going to take the Rockies here on the run line, plus the 1.5. And this one, though, they're going to have to get some offense. And look, they've had some guys here, a little bit of damage here anyway with McCarthy. Like I said, Hunter Goodman's looked good so far. He looks like a hot prop guy tomorrow to me. And also Kyle Caro's probably going to like him.
Final.
All right. And let's go to the next one here. Let's go to the top of the board. I blew it. Here we go. We're at the top of the board. Twins and Orioles. Major League action here for Sunday. Bailey Ober going here for the Twins. Shane Baz is on the Orioles here, and there's a favorite here. Orioles are favored, $1.55 with Baz here. Total 9 under 20 or 8.5 over 20, somewhere right in there. Maybe it's 9 under 20, maybe it's 8.5 over 20. Coming in, but for first 2 games of the series here, they split it. Baltimore won 2-1 in the opener, and then they came back there yesterday 4-1 as the Twins got the win over the O's there yesterday on the road. So let's see though here with Baz, still pretty good favorite here. They right now put the Orioles. Yeah, they probably are better than the Twins here right now, but this is still pretty good. The Twins are here into the third starter, and you got Bailey Ober. Their team's going out there with far less than that. It feels like here right now. I think we might get some good pitching from these guys in this one between Ober and Baz. I mean, I kind of don't mind these 2 pitchers here. Let's see, though, for the matchup here for Ober. Yeah, going up against this Orioles team right now that I've got him in the bottom 10 lineups here for sure, but could be a decent matchup here for a couple of guys in this Baltimore order. Taylor Ward, I think, is going to have a chance here. Polar Bear Pete also probably pretty good matchup against Ober, though. Maybe Mayo down here, Kobe Mayo, and also at the bottom of the order with Jeremiah Jackson. Meanwhile, for Baz, going up against this Twins lineup, middle of the road, I think, got him about 15th, 16th right in here right now, but certainly a good matchup for Byron Buxton here. Also, Luke Keyshaw, also a pretty good matchup. Did go 0 for 4 yesterday after that decent opening day. Also, Ryan Jeffers in here. See if he can't improve on his game yesterday. And also Royce Lewis here for the Twins. But I might prefer Ober and Baz here. I'm going to go under in this one. I'll grade it at 8.5, but I can get 9 under 20 right now. And I'm going to take the under in this one with the Twins and the O's. Let's see what you have in the chat. I'll take a total on this one. Okay, here we go. Gunner for a homer, says Timmy. I'm neutral on it. I think I'm neutral on Gunner today. I didn't look at the prices yet, but see here. Larry says under. Let me pop up the batter versus pitcher stats too while we're at it. Can't miss your BVP, guys. You always got to check your BVP. You know what's one fun thing to do? You know what I try to look at the BVP, and you could, right, but you got to look at the different players and who's got good stats, and you're trying to mix them up and look at the lineups. But if you run the BVP through AI and tell it what to look for, it actually comes out with some pretty interesting results. You just copy and paste it in there; it can read it, and then it'll lay out for you it'll kind of give you the look. You can use some DFS tools to find the stacks, but those are the stacks everyone knows about. Okay, anybody here? Let me see. Twins money line, Orioles, same issues as last year with the bats. Orioles and Pirates. Oh, Mr. Wesker says I think those teams are good. And let's see here. Moon Man going under. And let's see here. Pete Alonso. Twins money line for Cal Dog. Timmy Two Shoes on the over, looking for some offense here. And the bullpens have been. Hey, we actually look at the bullpen stats now with 2 games for everybody. Who has the best bullpen so far? The Yankees, of course. Yankees, Rangers, Mariners, Dodgers, no runs allowed. Detroit 0.93, Boston 0.96, Milwaukee 104, Rockies 123, San Francisco 142 at the bottom. Tampa Bay 1421, Kansas City 1137, St. Louis 1125, Chicago 1045, Pittsburgh 635. You can see some of these teams going to already be here, probably with Chicago and Pittsburgh in there. Does feel like it, doesn't it? Okay, let me try to move on here. I do want to try to get the BVP report there for what you guys are saying. And see who's at the top of the report. All right. Who's number 1 on the BVP board tomorrow? Did anybody go there yet? Of course, it's Hunter Goodman. Better we get on Hunter Goodman tomorrow, guys. All right. Trey Turner against Mackenzie Gore. 11 for 25. Acuna, 6 for 14 against Seth Lugo. Pardon me, guys. Luzardo, 6 for 20 against Nimmo, 6 for 20 against Luzardo. We'll cover more later. Let's keep it moving here right now in the major leagues and go to next up with Royals here. Oh, geez. I am all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. I messed. I'll just go with this one. I'm not going to. I'm a little out of turn here. Oh, well. Okay. All right. Royals here and the Braves. See, I got to look on my sheet now. It's all messed up. Seth Lugo here going up against Clay Holmes in this one. Grant Holmes in this one. Braves here won the first 2 of the series. 6-0 and 6-2. Looked impressive in both. Actually, the Royals end up wasting a perfectly good performance by Waka there against the Braves and blow it as the Braves get those 6 runs in the 9th inning, including that grand slam to send the Royals home with an L here. Braves though minus $1.50, total 8 over 20. So pretty disappointing for the Royals after really getting shut down there in the opener. There to Chris Sale and Cole Reagans got out-dueled in that one. Come back, have a great performance from Waka, only to give it up with that bullpen that we just mentioned that has an 11.37 ERA to start the season here right now. So $1.50 with Clay Holmes. And, Seth Lugo is certainly pretty good, but going up here against the Braves lineup, probably in the top 10. We're going to have some guys here that have a pretty good matchup, I think, against Lugo tomorrow. Baldwin, Olson, Yastrzemski, Albies, Harrison Smith. also all pretty good matchups here. Now, Lugo's kind of, does hold down guys like Acuna and Riley in there, but I think it's a kind of a neutral matchup for Holmes against this Royals lineup here. But I don't know, the Braves here. I feel the Royals might be a little disappointed in the way things have going here so far. Could $1.50 be reasonable here? I really don't want to get too high up there with this Braves team. I would say it probably is a little bit too high, but I just feel like the Royals might be demoralized here, and I just might take the Braves just because. Let's see if the chat's got anything for me here. Okay, let's see here. Clay Holmes can blow it. Clay Holmes might blow it too, says Tim. Larry's on the money line with the Braves, but Timmy says he'll try Kansas City again. Moon Man on the Braves. Braves for the sweep. Braves on the run line. And Waka was their chance, says Cal Dog. You know what, man, right? You go out there, you throw your first start of the season, you dominate, and then that happens in front of you. That was pretty bad.
Final.
Yeah, that was early in the season, right? But man, you're walking. You just wasted a start of your career. You wasted a start in your career. Mr. Westers is not in Kansas anymore. All right, at $1.50. I'm going to take the Braves here. That's about as high as I want to get here on this show, so to speak. All right, so give me the Braves. I'll do it here. I kind of agree with what you guys are saying though about Holmes here. Look, the total it was 6-0. It was 6-2. This total's 8/20, and I have a feeling we're going to get just over this total, maybe a little bit. I'm not ready to commit to it just yet. Maybe I will investigate maybe I'll investigate the Braves bullpen a little bit. They were a little bit better than the Royals bullpen here so far, right? What I say, the Braves bullpen was at 1.5 so far. All right, and I'll take the Braves. Next up, okay, let me try to get to the right game here. Next up, Rangers. Okay, that's what the problem is here. I don't have the Rangers. I didn't do that. I somehow forgot it. Not forgot it. It's in my notes here, but okay. I mentioned Luzardo there, right? Okay, there we go. Rangers here on the road, taking on the Phillies. Mackenzie Gore. I thought there was some news about Mackenzie Gore, though, here. Let me see what it is here. I think, so I think they end up skipping the start here of DeGrom. I don't think he's going to come back today. I think they're just going to skip his start, obviously, and go with Mackenzie Gore here. Let me see what the story though is with Gore. Okay, yeah. So they're just going to go with that same group here right now, and for Baltimore here coming into this one, it was 4-1 there. Oh wait, okay. What have I screwed up here with my notes? Me screwing up the order has me totally out of whack here. I'm looking back at that Orioles-Twins game here. All right, sorry about that, gang. All right, for Mackenzie Gore here and the Rangers, they've split the series so far in these two. Phillies, obviously, they lost the first one 5-3 and come back to win the next one. Rangers did, right? 5-4 there yesterday. So they've split the first two. I got it now. I'm back on track here with this one. With Luzardo here, $1.50 favorite for the Phillies here tonight. And Philly's going to come in with a top 5 lineup here right now. But look, I don't know if there's any total advantage here going up against a guy like Gore. It's a tough matchup for him, no doubt. But I don't know if I'm totally turned on for a mass crushing of him here necessarily. But between Turner and Schwartz here, you see who else is rolling right now in this lineup. Schwarber obviously looking pretty good. He looked good in that first game, obviously. And Crawford as well here, Bohm as well. For Luzardo, look, you're going up here against a Texas team that probably in the bottom 10 lineups. And it's going to be a tough matchup for some of these guys like Nimmo, like Seager, like Peterson, like Smith. A little bit of a tough matchup there for sure for a couple of those guys. And as far as Luzardo's concerned, I mean, I think he can navigate the lineup here a little bit as well. I don't want to say this one's not bad either at $1.50 with these Phillies right now. Yeah, it was a split there yesterday, and the Rangers were able to get that win in 10 innings. And yeah, the Phillies had to come back.
Final.
Got 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. They still brought up they scored a run in the bottom of the 10th inning and made a game of it there after losing the lead. Burger Time homered for Texas. Seager homered yesterday for Texas as well. Okay, let's go to the chat here. I do need some help on this one after all. But $1.50 here right now with the Phillies and the rubber match here. Showing $1.46 at Circa. Okay, here we go. I'm looking for the comments. Phillies for Cal Dog, Rangers though for Mr. Weskers, and Luzardo to be concerned. Yeah, well, you look third starter here for each team, and I don't it doesn't seem terrible for the Phillies. I wonder about Gore's long-term prospects here right now. I mean, it feels like he's on the downside a little bit. And going up against this team, and meanwhile, you get Luzardo. You look at it as if he can be junky, but remember he just signed a $135 million contract extension a couple weeks ago. I think they feel like he's going to be able to do it. Okay, Mr. Weskers, he likes the Ranger. Oh, he says a new batting coach. Okay. Moonman, not a fan of Gore. And let's see here. Luzardo is excellent, says Mr. Weskers. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Look, remember, there was a time last September that he was mowing them down. I mean, he had a stretch of games there, very, very strong late in the season, and that was in September. I mean, he's durable and kept it going. Larry says Rangers here. I agree with Mr. Weskers. I think Luzardo's that's what the Phillies makes this team so tough. Hey, Oscar Schneider's in there. He says, "Do we like the Blue Jays?" Maybe that's some Schneider. Maybe we can bring him in to manage the team. I don't. I'm going to take. Well, I'll get to that game in just a moment. Then we get the Phillies though here in this one. Got to move a little faster than this. If I didn't have the lineup the order of the games all screwed up here, we'd be okay. Okay, let's go next to
final.
I'm in chronological order here in the major leagues. I don't do rotation order when I do the show, but maybe I should start. Next up, the Athletics here taking on the Blue Jays here with Morales going up here against Lauer. In this one, you got Lauer $1.60 now here with this one. And well, you know what? For the A's here, I think the A's are kind of looking like they did. I mean, they still got these bats a little bit here. Luis Morales said, certainly not going to be thrilling here. And Toronto has won the first 2 games. Lauer, the veteran, just want to almost call him a soft tosser now, but Should be in line for a pretty decent game here, I would think, against this A's lineup. But you got to watch out maybe here for Nick Kurtz a little bit. Let me take a look and see how it is. You got two top 10 lineups for sure here. It feels like right now to start the season anyway. Langoliers has looked strong here for the Athletics so far, and for Toronto, you got some guys doing the good job. Vladdy here. I mean, look, Vladdy, you might find the Vladdy MVP bets here right now. Also, a good start for Andres Jimenez there in this bottom of this lineup. Probably deserves to be hitting somewhere else, but I don't know. Two good lineups here. There's not a whole lot of matchup advantage for these guys. I just think the lineups are good and probably can wear these pitchers down a little bit. I'm showing 8.5 over 25. I don't see any nines. Well, Bobata's 9 under 20. But let's see how you guys have it here with the A's and the Jays. And see how you want to take it here. Because, look, I like the bats, but I don't think the splits are really overwhelming here. And I might have an under here again. Here we go. This is one we were looking for, right? The A's and the Jays, says Oscar. Blue Jays run line or over, says Cal Dog. Mr. Wesker's Blue Jays burnt through that pen, he said so far. Their own pen or the A's pen? Because both teams have had good work out of the bullpen so far, right? Let's see here. After 2 days, I'm not getting excited, but yeah, 5.19 for the A's, you're right. 5.19 for the A's, 6.23 for the Jays. But Jays pens are kind of racking up the strikeouts a little bit. Blue Jays money line for Larry. A's team total over for Timmy Two Shoes. And Moon Man's got my man Langoliers for his total bases in this one. I just always say he's my guy because I got in one of those sites where you like buy the player, and you try to invest in them long term. And I only bought one player went on there, and I put all my money on Shea Langoliers 2 years ago. I think I'm down 17 cents. I think I put like $50, so he's done nothing basically, but I do like him. Lauer's half decent. I've been following this guy's career for sure. Oscar leaning under. So am I. I want to go under in this one. Rooker, time for Rooker to homer here. I am going to go under in this one. Look, I've got Oscar here pretty much for the first time. He doesn't know I take under in half the games. Or maybe he does. Thank you, Oscar, by the way. Next up, Okay, I think we can get back on track now. I think my order of games is right from here on forward. Sorry about the delay. Pirates and Mets here. And, yeah, I kind of like this pitching matchup, actually. You got Carmen Mlodzinski going up against McLean here, Nolan McLean. Nolan McLean, he might have been a little bit too much of the moment at the World Base. Look, Nolan McLean is going to be great. You don't call him Nolan for nothing. But might have been a little bit much at the World Baseball Classic. All right. So, even here, now the Mets have won the first 2 games, and poor Pirates, again, kind of like that Rockies syndrome a little bit, but reasonable price here. I don't know, $1.75, $1.80, but after the Mets were able to dispatch of these guys already 11-7 and 4-2, it's going to be hard not to want to take the Mets again on the run line, even though I like Carmen Mlodzinski a lot. Ever since he turned down going pro to stay at South Carolina, I gained a lot of respect for him. It was still getting a little money back then, I think, probably. But, I think he's poised for a good year. But right now, the Mets just seem to do what they want and take what they want. So let's see what the matchups say here for me anyway. With this one, Pittsburgh, I've got him right now as the next to last lineup here, totally. And for McLean, he should dominate against some of these guys. He should really clamp down on guys like O'Hearn, like Brian Reynolds, like Brandon Lau. They're a total mismatch, really. He holds a big advantage here over this one. And you got this Mets lineup. Basically, I've got him at number 2 right now in my rankings. And I don't know if it's a total bad situation for Majinski. He doesn't have any total advantages over. It's just that you're going up against a tough lineup right here in this one. So 11-7 in that opener, 4-2 yesterday, as we mentioned. And, like I said, feels like a good pitching matchup, but it's just a matter of the Mets lineup clicks. They probably could have a pretty strong day here. And, it is $1.80 after all. So let's see what you guys have here in this one. If you want to make a pick on it, and I'm ready to go. We'll get down here with this. I would look forward to this one. Let's see here. What do we got? Oscar, what is my favorite play of the day? Well, of course, it's the A's and the Blue Jays under. Come on. You can't, a Mets money line and over, says Oscar. Cal Dog's going over again. I'm kind of thinking with Cal Dog here a little bit. And Timmy said maybe Soderstrom for a homer in that game. Moon Man liking the Nerfy here. Mr. Wester says the public still loves this Pirates team. That's so interesting, that you say it, right? Because, like I said, it just feels like they have no momentum here. That even when they, look, I don't want to make fun of that first game. They fought back pretty good there, right? But Larry says Pirates and Mets. He likes it under here. Yeah, like I said, I like this pitching matchup, but once they get we're already talking bullpens here a little bit. And Pittsburgh's got a 6.35 ERA after 2 games. And what did we say the Mets were at? They're in the middle, 2.75. Okay, let's see here. Timmy says he's brain damaged. He thinks the Pirates can win. Mr. Wesker says he does not think Soto is earning his money. And let's see here. So Soto's not helping cover the spread. And Pirates can't win with Paul. They never will. All right, I'm gonna take the over in this one with what we've seen so far. Some of those World Baseball Classic pitchers have had a little bit of arm fatigue already. It's right. You're usually making your arm get stronger in spring training, and then you go all out. And I know I just talked up Carmen Majinski like he's my favorite player, but I'm going to go over at 7.5. All right, next up. Yeah, we're on. We got the right games here. I'm watching here. Just about wrapping up here at the here we go. Let me go to this one. Red Sox and Reds here. We've got early going up against Louder here. See, this is what I'm talking about. You got some teams. I'm not necessarily down here on Connolly early. I mean, we're definitely excited to see him here for the Red Sox. This is where we're at right now with Connolly early. Rhett Louder here for the Reds. We know these guys are capable, but we want to. Well, gonna have to see them develop and get going here. But for early right now, making his first start here of the season. What's happened here is Johan Oviedo ends up starting in the bullpen, so that kind of brings him in here. Now we'll see if it, how deep he runs here after a few times through the rotation as well. early could be sent back to the bullpen or maybe even to the minors if he starts off kind of weak. He's a left-hander here. So did have great in his spring training, 1.59 ERA, 16 strikeouts, 5 walks in 17 innings. So look, you got a guy who was a 5th-round pick out of Virginia. It looked good last year, 2.33 ERA in his appearances, 29 strikeouts, 4 walks in 19 and a third innings. So he's got good pitches in there. Very durable, doesn't really get hurt. So he's the kind of guy that if you can get a young pitcher with a good arm like this, he looked good last year. Connerly Early is someone you can look at here a little bit. For Rhett Lauder, though, here, meanwhile, lined up to make this start, his first of the year here, going to have a much bigger assignment this year for the Reds. He's from 2023, went to Wake Forest and looked great last year, 1.17 ERA, 1.27 whip. Tough on the K to walk ratio, 22-14 in 30 innings, but that was just 6 starts last year, so didn't pit. That was in 2024. Last year he had injuries, and right now Nick Lodolo is starting on the injured list. So Lauder here gets locked into a rotation, and you got a big chance. When you get a chance like this, you cannot, miss out on an opportunity like this. So, you know what? It's not Chase Burns out there or anything, but here he is in this position, 3rd game of the season right now, and they're going to have to rely on him here. So for the Reds here, an underdog at home against this Red Sox team. They did win, one of the 2 games here, obviously, yesterday in the 6-5 game. And, they couldn't get the offense going in the opener, but that was against Garrett Crochet. Here, this is, 2 pitchers that have looked good, but it does feel like we're getting these guys a little bit accelerated here. They're going to need some of that bullpen help here today. And the Reds, the bullpen, 4.5 ERA so far in those first 2 games. Red Sox a little bit more solid here, 0.96 right now. So still Red Sox on the road favored. And let's see what you guys think here in this one. As far as what I'm concerned with the matchup here, the Reds, I've got them as a bottom 5 offense for sure here right now. And Friedel's going to have a problem. Benson's going to have a problem here. I'm neutral with Lauder against this Boston lineup here for sure. But let's see what you got. Oh, sorry about this, gang. A little technical issue here. Go to the chat, see what the comments say in this one. Oh, thanks, Cal Dog. Yeah, the Red Sox are favored. Appreciate that. Guess I was having a problem today with getting everything going here in baseball. Just not for the season, but the graphics and everything. Okay. Watching the end of the golf tournament here, but it's a 4-stroke lead here. They're just coming into the final hole. Alex Fitzpatrick here going to win the Hero World Tour event right now, coming home with a 4-stroke lead in India. Going to win basically the Indian Open. Okay, here we go. Reds for, he sees the Reds line there, yeah. Mr. Weskers loves the Red Sox on this. Yeah, Mr. Weskers, you're right. That's what we do. A little secret here. We never want to take anything too much over 140 around here. All right. Timmy says go over 8. And Oscar, Boston money line. Cal Dog here is on the Reds. And Oscar, I do college baseball picks. We don't do anything on the show, but I do actually have usually a couple premiums a week. College baseball, for me to have a premium, I bet college baseball as long as my arm, but to have a premium on Tony's picks, right now I'm going with about maybe one a day. Today I didn't have any,
Final.
and it was Saturday. But Friday night, I'm gonna have one or two usually, of course. Know a little bit more about those pitchers, but for me to put a premium, and I feel like Tony has the college baseball just for me because no one else is really picking very many. But it's still I might bet games just looking at the lines and my ratings, but to get a premium, I got to read the beat writer stories. I got to look at who has pitched. It's not a problem, and I love to do it. And I have a good record here at the website. Actually, one season we crushed it here, Tony's, when we had it a few years ago, for sure. I usually end up in the green here. I think this is the third year we've had college baseball at Tony's and been here. Under for Larry. Oh man, I'm sorry, you guys got to make my pick here in this one, and I think I might just be with Larry here. And I'm gonna think that we're gonna see these pitchers do something here. I am gonna go under with this one. Give me the under. See, I told you. I did take the over in that Mets game. All right, we gotta keep it moving here. It's not a full card, but Angels, and you've got Jack Kohanowitz. And for the Astros here, we got an import coming in here. We'll get a chance to see Tatsura Imai here from Japan, I believe. Make the start, $1.75 here for the Astros here in this one. So far we've seen Astros here, first 4-game series here, actually. And Houston did finally get the win 11-9 after the Angels won the first two of the series 3-0, 6-2. So don't worry, the Angels will fade. They've done this before. They've gone out there kind of cooking early, and they'll give it all back eventually here. But it did get a little loose there yesterday. A crazy score, right? And here we are in a 4-game series. First of the year was 3-0, then 6-2, then 11-9. You probably can figure out. I don't know though with Kohanowitz, and we'll see what we get from Tatsura Imai. It feels like he's kind of the guy that you're going to be looking at here. Is it going to come in? The Astros brought this man over here, and solid spring training. 2 hits and 1 walk with 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. Did have 3 perfect innings in spring training against the Marlins earlier this season in spring training. 4 strikeouts against them. Really strong control as well so far in spring training. That's really was his downfall. I don't want to say downfall. Last year he had a 1.92 ERA and 201 FIP. In Japan, 163 innings, 178 strikeouts, but 45 walks. So this guy's got a big time upside for sure. And he's kind of the guy who's replacing Framber Valdez in this rotation. So right now he's probably top 75 in the major leagues right now. So look, he's got, they got him for a reason. They needed him here. And for Kohanowitz, look, you get what you get with this guy so far. I don't know if he's any answer here as a number 4 man in a rotation going up here against a guy who, is brought over, for some money and looks pretty good here. So let's see what you got, though. The Angels did win the first 2. Not going to slide them here a little bit, but man, it does seem like you've got the Astros do have. I'm still rating them bottom 5 in this lineup, but it's not, against Kohanowitz. I think there's a little bit neutral here. I think we could see the Astros still have a pretty good run at this one. Meanwhile, the Angels are also a bottom 5 lineup. The lineups did explode yesterday, but I don't think these are great offenses right now. But maybe it says more about the bullpens there a little bit and the blow-up that happened. And now you have Houston here with a 5.25 bullpen ERA so far. The Angels have been much, much better, 1.64 ERA so far. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you think in this one with
Final.
the Angels here taking on the Astros. All right, let's go to it. It's going to be Mr. Westwood likes the Angels here on the money line. Astros for Larry. And Mr. West was not confident with the Japanese pitchers, although maybe you might take a look at some of these guys. They're putting up some pretty good numbers. Maybe you've heard of Shoto Imanaga. And there's a guy in the Dodgers, too, who's pretty good. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And another guy who doesn't pitch very much, but when he does, he's a killer. All right. Hey, Flock, want to see Flock in there. Nice to see Flock. He said, what do you think about the Blue Jays? I think they might score less than 4 runs today. Cal Dog's on the over here. Jimmy Tushu says, LA Angels team total over there. And Mr. Wester said, yeah, Trout hit that opening day homer, right? I mean, we've seen that before, too. Halo's here plus 1.5 for more Moon Man. And all right, I guess that's it from the chat. I'm going over here with the Angels and the Astros. Give me the over. They scored 20 yesterday. I don't think they'll score 20 today, but they might get 9. Oh, man, White Sox and Blue Jays here, Major League action for a Sunday. And we still got all that hockey and basketball to go here. Got a matchup here with the left-hander here for the White Sox, Anthony Kay, and he's up here against Brandon Sproat of the Brewers. So here we are. Look where we're getting into some of this pitching. Hey, these guys will be fine, but just don't have we've seen some more of Sproat than we have, I believe, of the left-hander Kay here, of course, from the White Sox here in this one. For Kay here, mostly, out of the bullpen last year. So I think he's probably an opener here, right? What are the pitching plans? What are the pitching plans of the White Sox here in this one? He was with the club here, of course, last year, and we'll see what happens against this Brewers lineup. Brewers right now, I think this lineup is top 3 here, probably at least top 5 with these guys here. And for the White Sox, not exactly a great matchup for them going up against Sproat. It feels like here I got the White Sox a bottom 10 lineup or so coming in. So look, $1.65 here, total 7.5 in this one. For Milwaukee, got some hot bats early on. Bryce Terang, Contreras in there. Also picking up RBIs already. Yelich in there. Ortiz as well. You got to look out for Joey Ortiz. A couple of big games, already. Couple of hits there in the 6-1 win on Saturday, and also had 2 hits in the win there on in the season opener. So pretty good actually here for Ortiz. See what you guys have in this one. Get ready to go with White Sox here and the Brewers. Brewers won the first one 14-2, won yesterday 6-1. So total domination here of the White Sox so far, outscoring them 20-3. Are the Brewers ready to go or what? I think we're going to see a pitching. I think Sproat can probably shut these guys down here in this one. I might go under, but $1.65, and they're just crushing this White Sox team. I think you just got to take them to do it again and take this run line at plus money. I don't want to be a jerk right now to the White Sox, but what are they going to do? At plus $1.25, I think you got to roll with the Brewers again here. Call me square in this one, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. All right, Brewers run line for Mr. Weskers, who thinks Ohtani is below average. Brew Crew for Cal Dog. And Mr. Wesker says both pitchers came over from the Mets organization. Shows you what's going on over there. Hey, there's Sound Man tonight. Brewers plus 1.5. Is that what you're taking, Sound Man? Moon Man going over. Mr. Weskers runs in the first inning and second inning go over 5. He says, "Bro, God's there." And it says in baseball, do you take more plus money shots? I think you should, bro God, to be honest with you. I don't know if I do necessarily. I think in the end, I kind of still pick my spots, my favorites, my premiums with small favorites, actually. But the solution in baseball is to take the dogs. And we'll take plenty of them here. But I usually like to take the run line. I'm trying to pick some winners on the show. Larry here, Brewers on the run line. Contreras, home run, maybe for Timmy. I think Timmy says doesn't know what to do with Milwaukee, but we know what to do with the White Sox. All right, let's go. Next up. Here's those swinging Rays taking on the Cardinals here in this one. You got Matt's here. Matt's here going up against May in this one. How about that? Dustin May here. Cardinals 2-0 with wins in the first two here by the score of 9-7 and 6-5. The runs have come through here in the conditions in St. Louis here. But Matt's is going to be the favorite here on the road in this one, actually, with Tampa Bay coming in. Tampa Bay can hit. They are going to hit, and they're going to be hitting all year long. And they got a great matchup here against Dustin May, I think, here. We'll see. I mean, look, I want to root for Dustin May, but we're going to have to see really what he's got here this year. I don't know if it's going to be much, at least early on against this Rays lineup. And you're going up against the Cardinals team. Right now, I've got them dead last offensively. Yeah, they scored some big runs here so far. I'll adjust here as we go along if they prove me wrong. But, they did score 12 runs so far. That's not the worst offense in the league, that's for sure. But I have concerns long-term with this lineup. But if weather holds for real, they've got a big bonus there, right? If Burleson can click, these guys can be okay. But when you got Wynn batting fourth, it feels like a little bit of a concern. Nick Gorman in there as well. Nolan Gorman in there. So, all right, let's see what you think here for Stephen Matz here. Look, I hope he can get his career together here. I don't know if he's going to be an opener in this game, or I'm sure he's got to run a few innings out there for sure. But it feels like against the Cardinals, it feels like a pretty good, even Stephen Matz might be able to handle this one, I think. So, I don't know. Let's see what you got here. I feel like the Rays bats are so good right now, it feels like. Let's see what you got, though. I'll go to the chat maybe in this one, but it's going to be hard to get me off the Rays, I think, in this game. Here we go. Mr. Weskers, of course he likes the Cardinals this year. Cal Dog's on the over. You're probably right about that, Mr. Weskers. But you know what? We're back in the home stadium too. Don't forget. And he plays 30 minus 200 games, puts a 20 on that, and hits once in a while. Look, I wouldn't say that I'm not a guy, that after it's all said and done and I can't lay a bunch of favorites that, I might play a couple of stringing together a couple of favorites on a parlay. They say don't play parlays. I say, hey, use every tool in your arsenal. Rays owner needs to sell the team. Cardinals for the sweepage. Okay, yeah, the Cardinals did get the win. Give them credit here. But I'm going to take the Rays, I think. Yeah, me too. I'm going against May here pretty much, and we'll see. Could be a bullpen situation, but I say could be a bullpen situation, right? But so far the Rays 14.21 bullpen ERA, and Cardinals 11.25. So they may end up going over again here, but I'll take the Rays for now. Cardinals run line for Larry. Okay, that's so interesting. I see they're showing. So Andrew Fitzpatrick, who just won the golf tournament, is the brother of Matthew Fitzpatrick, and they became the first brothers to ever win back-to-back tournaments on a tour. Guess Matt Fitzpatrick won last week. Right, Mr. Wesker. That's right. You just play it, But I like to make sure it's still a good side. Let me keep going here right now. We got the Nationals taking on the Cubs here in this one. This isn't the late game. Okay, you've got Cole Urban here. No, this is Jake Urban. I always get my Urbans mixed up last year too. Jake Urban here against Shota Imanaga, Prodigy, here for the Cubs. 235 in this one. Look, okay, the Cubs are great. I get that here. And Washington probably pretty bad, but Washington won the first game. The winner of this series has scored 10 runs in both games so far, so they might do it again here in this one. But let's see what you got with Jake Urban going up against Shota Imanaga. All right, for Urban here, look, not going to be overpowering him or anything. Hopefully you can get 4 or 5, maybe even you could, I don't know, early on here, 4 or 5 innings here out of Jake Urban here. This is a lineup that probably can be had here. You got some guys that for the Cubs, a pitcher that can be had, of course. For the Cubs, you got Mike Bush in there. Happ's got a good matchup. PCA, strong matchup here. Even Ballesteros. Meanwhile, for Imanaga here, this bottom 10 lineup of the Nationals, you got some real issues here. Wood, Garcia, Lyle, a real tough matchup. And Vivas as well, tough matchup. Who are these guys at the bottom of this Nationals lineup here? So 235. The Nationals won the first one, but it does feel like a bit of a mismatch. Cubs on the run line here are -1.5 at only -120. I'm going to take another run line here and go with the Cubs. Maybe this total looks achievable at 9.5, given that the winning team has scored 10 runs in each of the first 2 games. But I'll take a run line here with the Cubs to blow them out. All right, let's see what else we got here. Want to say hello to DDG's Streams in the chat. Nice to have you. Cubs run line also for Moonman and Cubs money line and under, says Larry, for a little parlay. Maybe that get it. It is pretty high. That's probably why it's my free pick on the show. And roll out with Cubs team total over, says Timmy Chushes. One more here, and we got to get to the basketball and hockey, and it's already 5 in the morning. Guardians and Slade Saucony World Tour here going up against Emil Hancock in this one. Emerson Hancock, whatever his name is. But let's see what we got here with Seattle up against Cleveland in this one, following yesterday's 6-5 win there for Cleveland. This is the 4th game of this series too. So far, 2 overs in the series coming in. 11 runs yesterday. Cleveland's won 2 of the 3 games, coming in with some offense. I think that's what's apparent here. But man, I don't know about this. $1.55 here is a little bit pricey, but I feel like Seattle could even up this series. I think they might have pretty good advantage here in this matchup really against Slade Ciccone. This is the night game here on Peacock. 7:20 Eastern, 4:20 Pacific time with the Peacock's Sunday Night Baseball's on Peacock. So let's see though what you think in this one with Slade Ciccone World Tour here. I've got Seattle right now. I know I'm bagging on them. They have a strong lineup here still, but show me the runs. They only scored. They've scored 14 runs in the 3 games. They did get the 5-1 win in Game 2 here, so we'll see. We're going up against Slade Ciccone for Emerson Hancock. Meanwhile, does feel like for him. You're going up against the bottom 10 lineup, but it's a decent matchup for some of these guys. But DeLauder, you got to figure he'll hit another home run. And, let's see what you guys have in this one. We might have to take this total here over again. We've seen 2 of the 3 games go over. We always say that, here in always going to have a good environment for pitching, but right now it's an environment for hitting. All right, here we go with the chat. Guardians here for Mr. Weskers. Cal Dogs on the over. Timmy loves his national TV overs. And Moonman says, I'm going with the, kind of going with this plus money Guardian situation here. It's worked so far. Yeah, I don't like this. Sorry, I really like the Seattle, but I don't like the price. Guardians money line here, and I think that's it for the crew here in this one. All right, I'm kind of going the other way though. I think here I'm gonna go with the Mariners here in this one. Look, $1.55. I don't want to put that on anybody here necessarily. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the run line at plus $1.40 if you feel more comfortable with the money line. I'm okay with that. But at $1.55, $1.60, I think the matchup. I'm gonna overlook the fact that I might be overpaying with the Mariners in this one. Okay. All right, that's it for that. We got to get going here right now to
final.
Next matchups here. We're going to the NBA. All right, here we go. NBA card here. It's a big one here, but we're not covering all of them. I think one game was removed from the previews here, but Clippers and Bucks will start us off. The Clippers are on the road, laying a pretty big number here at the Bucks. Bucks do show some life here a little bit of late, despite 3 straight losses here. Kind of back on the back on the bottle maybe a little bit for Milwaukee here. Clippers have won 4 straight, covered 2 of their last 3. We are definitely in the tankathon here. Clippers have not been a good road favorite. We know that, but Milwaukee all of a sudden is fading again. Ever since that news that Giannis, trying to come back and basically not going to be coming back, where do we stand in that? Have we decided anything? Are they going to get fined? Do they have to play him? What are they going to? What is truly going to happen here with Giannis? Now he may still be kind of injured, but Bobby Portis questionable, Kuzma questionable, Gary Harris questionable, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, he's questionable even. Kevin Porter Jr. is out of this game for the Clippers. Isaiah Jackson's questionable, but seems like they have a healthy lineup. The Bucks here, not so much. Still 14 points. Not comfortable with a Clippers team on the road laying that kind of number here, but might be the only way to go here in the tankathon. I'm going to take the Clippers here because I don't know any better. Give me the Clippers here. I'll lay double digits on the road. It's probably just a couple too many, but all right. Nobody's interested in that game. Clippers first half, there says Timmy. That's how you got to do it. The Heat are taking on the Pacers here in the Tankathon. This looks like one to me. I think the Heat can handle and getting a double-digit victory here right now. Look, this feels like where the Heat is at their best here is as a road favorite. They're 22-14 against the spread on the road, 21-16 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Indiana, not a great underdog. They really have covered the spread a lot better second half of the season. Even before that, really, they were really looking good there for sure. Picking up after, obviously a poor start and a poor record, but they weren't covering anything at first because they were so kind of overrated, even though they had injuries and stuff. Everybody knew that coming in. Since then, it's kind of like everyone kind of said, yeah, they're not very good, so they've been getting points, and now all of a sudden they've been covering a bunch of games. They've covered 5 straight, despite the fact that they've gone 1-18 in their last 19 games. But Miami 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. They've lost 6 of 7, but did get a very important win against Cleveland. Cleveland did bounce back on the revenge and blow them out, but might be going in the Tankathon here with the Heat and think that this is one they need too. If you look at the standings, right, we keep talking about it, and the Heat right now are sitting in 10th place. They got to get out of 10th. They got to get out of 9th if they can. So I will go to the Tankathon here and take Miami. Lay more points on the road. Just add them up. We're going to lay all these points here in the Tankathon today. You could always play that Tankathon moneyline parlay. Okay, Larry says bring Antetokounmpo, replace LeBron. And by the way, Luka will miss the game on Monday. He got another technical, and this one he can't appeal. He could appeal the first one. He's not going to be able to appeal this one. Let's see. Timmy, I think he's saying this one's going to go so far over, it'll go up to 256 here. And, both teams 7-3 to the over here in their last 10 games coming in. So can't disagree with that statement here right now.
Final.
Miami over in 4 of their last 5 on the road. Indiana over in 6 of their last 7. 9 of the last 10 meetings between the two have gone over. You've got the overs, you got the late season overs, you've got the fact that these teams have been going over of late, and then you've got the 9 of 10 there on the season series history with semi-frequent opponents. Heat Pacers under, though, for Larry. He's not buying it. And Timmy says they're going to take the James family, send them back to Cleveland for a year, and have a great year retiring. Magic and Raptors are next. Raptors are favored here by 8. And the total here, no, that's not right. Raptors are favored by 2.5. Total 224. Here, Raptors have won 2 of 3 right now with wins over Utah and New Orleans. Covered them both as favorites here. And look, this is another one for positioning here. Very important game, even though you've got the Raptors in 5th trying to hang on against the Hawks. The Magic are trying to get up there, trying to get into the top. They're in the 8th position, but they're only half a game ahead of the Heat here right now. So it does feel a little bit tough here for the Magic in this one. I think it's a tough game for the Magic, actually. And let's see here. You got Franz Wagner still out, but Jonathan Isaac's been out. What are the current injuries here? Jackson Davis questionable for Toronto. BI is questionable as well. Murray Boyles can't get healthy. Quickly is out. Quickly is definitely out here for Toronto. So they feel like the more injured team here anyway. But Orlando, they just snapped a losing streak by beating the Kings. Whoop-de-doo. So they've been kind of fading here right now. The Magic actually might be the team that falls back down into 9th or 10th. I think the Hornets are back to being hot again, even though they lost yesterday.
Final.
They might. Feels like the Hornets should be in 8th. All right, let's see what you got though here with Orlando and Toronto. We got to kind of step it up here a little bit, don't we? And let's see what you got here in this one.
Final.
All right. Magic here for Cal Dog. Orlando for Timmy. And Mr. Westwood doesn't play any Raptors as favorites at all. They weren't. They're not awful. 20-22 ATS is a favorite. Bro God says better teams getting points here. He likes you guys really like the Magic here. So I'm going to lay off. I think what I've said about. Obvious, I'm leaning Raptors, but I'm going to play the total then because everyone here likes the Magic, and I think I like the Raptors. So BI over here. Let me go under. I'm gonna go under in this one. It's not totally like me here in the late season, but I think this one's an under for me. Toronto at home, basically 15-27 to the under is a favorite. 15-21 to the under at home. Yes, Orlando has been all overs here. It feels like of late. Over in 9 of their last 11, but I'm going to go under in this one. I'm not going under in very many, but it does seem like when I have been going under, I'm right. Just since the high scoring, All right, next up, we're going Wizards and Trailblazers. Apologies to the Kings and the Nets here, but Wizards here on the road, getting the big points. We're in the tankathon here in this one. Total here 237. That looks like another, like you said, they can't put it high enough. Portland here lost last time out. They were upset by Dallas, but still had wins before that over tankathon teams, Brooklyn and Milwaukee, and covered handily. The impressive thing about Portland is the fact that they've been so motivated to cover their big spreads. I think that's a sign of a young team that's quote unquote feeling itself. Washington is 1-17 straight up in their last 18, 4-10 the last 14 against Portland, 6-3 ATS in their last 9 overall. So a little bit of credit there for Washington when they've been getting some big points. They just did cover getting 12.5, but that was from Golden State. They also got 21.5 from the Thunder and covered, but didn't cover getting 22 from the Knicks or 14 from Detroit. So I really do think I would like the total here. Washington is over in 6 of their last 7, and Portland's gone over in 11 their last 13 at home, but it might be too good of a play to give out here on the show. Wink, wink. And I think I will end up taking here the Trailblazers in the tankathon. But heck, if I'm not going to be playing that total over. All right, let's see here from the chat. Portland minus the points for Bro God. And he says with the Washington off those back-to-back covers here, that's why I bounce back with Portland here off of the loss to Dallas. And Portland, right now for Portland, their games are important here. They are in 9th. And you really do want to get to 8th. They're a game and a half behind the Clippers right now. Too many points, though, Cal Dog says. Too many. All right, let's go next here, the game of the night. Knicks are playing the Thunder. I take that back, but this one's pretty good too. So we have the old this one's a regional game because no one knew that the Hornets were going to be this team that they are. So this is actually a regional game. For Charlotte, just as good as Boston against the spread, if not better. Charlotte, 27-17 is a favorite against the spread. 24, as an underdog against the spread. Boston here, just the slightest of favorites, though. In fact, about a 1-point favorite. So maybe we just look at it this way: Charlotte 24-13 at ATS at home, but Boston 23-13 ATS on the road. There, these two, of course, met back on March 4th. Charlotte got the win in Boston, 118-89. So could be revenge time, but I'll tell you this: 215, good luck with that. They'll be lucky if they get to 200 points, I think, in this game. I might be serious. I don't know. Maybe it'll probably be short of 210, I would imagine. These two teams are, pretty much the biggest under teams in the league in their biggest under roles. You got two teams combined here for 54 and 93 to the under. Could you imagine that? 54 and 93 to the under combined. Not only that, Boston 12 and 24 to the under on the road, 18 and 35 to the under as a favorite if they are favored. Charlotte 12 and 25 to the under at home. I mean, geez. Look, Charlotte's got the revenge, but the Hornets are in desperate need of wins. The Celtics, meanwhile, yeah, they're more trying to hold off the Knicks than they are trying to catch the Pistons. That's for sure. But Charlotte's been looking great. And can they win again here? They did lose to Philly. Probably a look ahead, right? There yesterday, losing at home 118 to 114. It does feel like, maybe looking at look, they can't afford to lose any games. That's one issue of it because, like I said, they're in 10th place. So actually tied with the Heat and then a half a game back of the Orlando Magic. And for Boston, meanwhile, they are a game and a half clear of the Knicks. And but 4.5 back of the Pistons. So, we're running out of games. So they're not going to catch them. I don't think the Pistons are going to stop winning here. And we're on game number 73. So 9 games left. So let's see what you got, though, here in this one. And Celtics, Hornets, and a pretty good game. Maybe, will Boston even think, hey, what our motive here is revenge on this, on the Hornets here. All right, here it is with Cal Dogs on the Celtics. Larry took the under back in that Blazer game. Timmy's on the Celtics money line. Mr. Wesker's on the Hornets here. And Timmy loves he thinks so. Well, I don't know if he's saying it'll be a high-scoring game. He likes the jump shooting here. He likes the shooters. And Mr. Wesker's never a fan of LaMelo. This is where Mr. Wesker's and I just don't see eye to eye. I mean, I'm a LaMelo fan. Timmy says he's going to be chucking him up big time here. Larry's on the Celtics. And you know what? I'm on the Celtics too. I'm not calling it the revenge factor necessarily. I'm kind of thinking this line just looks a little bit light to me here. Now, the injury report does list here Tatum is questionable, but feels like he should be in. Jaylen Brown does have that Achilles injury. You wonder if he's really going to make this lineup here. That's a concern. Queta, questionable. White, questionable. They have guys out. They're definitely out. But I'm playing the fact that I think everybody says they need to see a lineup. Well, here I am. It's 5 a.m. East Coast time. I got to make a decision now. I say enough of these guys are in the game to make enough of an impact, and I'll also be getting a better line than what will happen once a couple of these guys are officially ruled in. But I'm worried about Brown. Achilles injury, you're probably not going to force anything there, right? Okay, let's continue on here. We got to get through these games. We've got the Rockets here taking on the Pelicans. Well, pretty good game here. I mean, we think about the Pelicans here. Okay, they've lost 4 in a row, but they've covered several games here of late. Now, they did just get beat pretty bad by Detroit and Toronto, but spread-wise, they're like one of the best spread teams going here of late. Talking about the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans have covered 9 of their last 12. Houston's gone 1-8 against the spread in their last 9. 0-7 against the spread on the road. New Orleans gone under in 7 of their last 9. 10 of the last 15 matchups have gone under between these two teams. Might be too easy to just take the Pelicans here plus the points. Yes, they're in the tankathon, but they show no signs of wanting to not try very, very hard. Maybe now with the 4 straight losses, they have failed to cover 3 of 4, but you're dealing with a Houston team that's really one of the biggest right now not covering anything, not looking great. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings, and they've won some games here. They beat Memphis, beat Miami, beat Atlanta, but having trouble covering some spreads here right now. So let's see what you have here in this one. Again, don't want to take too many unders here at this point of the season with some of these teams, but see what you got here in this one. Anytime the Rockets are involved, let's go to the chat. All right, Hornets and the points for Timmy back on that other one. Here's Rockets are an auto fade for Bro God. I can't disagree with that. Houston might lose. Mr. Westwood says they look like they're a tankathon team the way they're going. And over for Cal Dogs. Can't trust the Rockets, of course, here right now. And I'm going to take the under, though. I'm not going to go against Cal Dog. I guess I am. And again, I'm probably going over on every game where I didn't take the under. I'll tell you that. Give me the under, though, in this one. All right, we got a couple more here. The big game of the night, Knicks and Thunder here. This one's on Peacock. Knicks did lose, of course, last time out there to Charlotte, 114-103. But, hey, that's Charlotte, man. Snapped that winning streak. OKC's off of a win over Chicago, 131-113. They looked confident in that game. Looked like they wanted to cover there, especially after the loss to Boston, I guess. So let's see, though, what you think with these two. And look, you got the Knicks here. It's funny, come on, 8 points, the way the Knicks are playing right now, playing so well. Now, they are just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, but you know what? So are the Thunder. And this one might have some under juice to it, too. I can't believe it. Oklahoma City's gone under in 9 of their last 13 coming in. Knicks are 5-9 to the under as a dog, 17-21 to the under on the road. I'm actually going to take another under here. I lied. Give me the under here in this one with the Knicks and the Thunder on Sunday night. And let's see how you guys are playing it here. Watch. Hey, the Knicks should they might cover, they might win, if you know what I mean. All right, here over. Let's see. Do we got anybody picking this game at all? Larry went with the Pelicans. Mr. Wesker's going to fade the Thunder here. Knicks for Cal Dog. And let's see here. Knicks first half for Timmy. And Mr. Westwood's taking the Knicks also. I think I'm with you guys here. Robot Glock, you're so awesome to come in here and give us. This is our coverage of the UFL game tonight. And it is going to be Robot Glock here. This is a matchup of 2 expansion teams, Columbus and Orlando. And he'll take Orlando and is he off? I thought he was picking. Oh, geez. I'm on the under, Robot Glock. I'm on the under right there. Give me the under, please. There it is. I don't know if my man's going to make a video of this, but if he wants to, I don't really have a breakdown here, but I am taking the under in this game between the Columbus Aviators and the Orlando Storm. Take the under. Okay, if you want to make a video, I don't have enough of a breakdown there. Okay, Oklahoma City money line for Larry. Timmy says, what's that? Robot's on the under also. All right, Robot. All right, I'm on the under in the Knicks and the Thunder as well. One more game, NBA, then we're going to go to the hockey. and wrap it up, you guys. Good job tonight. Here we go with the Warriors taking on the Nuggets. Uh-oh. Man, look at this. I mean, you got the Warriors aren't in the tankathon, but they might as well be the way they've been going. Golden State here, 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games overall coming in. They've won 3 in a row. I take it back. Wins over Dallas, Brooklyn, and Washington. Can't get much of a softer schedule than that. They've failed to cover, and 2 of them laying 12.5 points. So they have gone just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games. Denver also, though, 1-5 ATS in their last 6. Denver, though, has won 5 straight, 6 in a row at home. Golden State's actually covered 7 of the last 10 meetings. The total here is 238. It should be 268. Wow. I'm taking the over here in this one for sure. 268 might be a stretch, but these two teams combined 91 and 57 to the over. Denver 33 and 18 to the over as a favorite, although just 18 and 17 to the over at home. But Golden State 22 and 16 to the over. On the road, these two went for 245 last month in a win at Golden State for the Warriors, 128 to 117. The November meeting was only 133 there, but the Nuggets won, and they had an earlier meeting for 268. So I'm going over here in this one for sure. That's my call. Over City in this one. Cal Dog might be on the over. Robot says, is Steph back? No, Steph's not back yet. There was I think there was one other injury of note there, though. Let me peek at it here real quick. DeAnthony Melton is probable. The thing is here that the Warriors, all those injuries they have, the Nuggets aren't reporting any injury. They're clear. They're clear bill of health. Cal Dog on the over. Over for Timmy. And let's see here. 239.5 says Timmy Two Shoes in there. I think it is too. I think I just have an old line up there because we're moving fast here right now. Okay. Let's go to the hockey tonight, and we'll get to it here, and that's will be it for the show. Started off here with I think we've skipped the Panthers and the with all due respect, here the Panthers and the Rangers have been fired from the broadcast. Rangers eliminated. Panthers 1 game away from being eliminated. Canadians and Hurricanes NHL action here for Sunday. Hey, the Rangers the Hurricanes $1.85 total, 6.5 here in this one. Carolina 46-20-6, Montreal 41-21-10. They've won 4 straight here right now, looking good. Meanwhile, for Carolina, also in a pretty good form here, just beat New Jersey 5-2. These two teams just met back 5 days ago, and it was 5-2. Montreal got the win. It was a 3rd straight win over Carolina. They might have their number. They're actually on a little bit of a run against this Carolina team. Montreal's won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two overall. However, Montreal has actually lost 12 of the last 13 times when playing at Carolina. So Montreal wins at home. Carolina wins at home. I will say this, back in January, Carolina did lose to Montreal here at home, 7-5 in a wild one. The 2 meetings this year have combined for 19 goals. Carolina 25-12 to the over at home. Montreal 24-12 to the over as a dog here. So let's see what you think here of this one. We got Canadians and Hurricanes in an important game too, not to mention Montreal certainly here in 3rd place in the Atlantic. And for the Hurricanes, they're in 1st. in the East here overall. They're tied with Buffalo, though, so still feels like an important game. And we can go to the chat, though, and see what you guys have here in this one with Canadians and the Hurricanes. I know where I'm doing here with this one. I got to go over with this one with the Canadians and the Hurricanes. All right, and we've got some comments here for sure on this one. Montreal for Cal Dog. And Canes in regulation for Timmy. Montreal money line or puck line for Cal Dog. And Timmy says the over looks good. I'll take the over. Next up, Tampa Nashville is taking on. Next up, the Nashville Predators taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. NHL action here for Sunday. Lightning $2 favorite here against Nashville. Hey, this is the spot. Yeah, maybe I got a few wrong trying to take Nashville sometimes at home. Feels like you kind of want to take them on the road, especially getting a big price here right now. They have lost 2 in a row here right now to New Jersey and Montreal. Tampa's been alternating wins and losses. Tampa still 22-12 at home. Nashville 18-31 as an underdog, but this one's maybe more about the puck line. Nashville, okay record here, 30-19 as a puck line underdog. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, 26-36 as a puck line favorite. That is pretty good, but they are favored a little bit sometimes on a little bit of a hefty line here. You got backup goaltenders here, it looks like, with Justice Annunen and my man Jonas Johansson in here. So let's see, though, what you think here at $2. I mean, Nashville, they need it more. They're trying to make it to the playoffs. They're in right now, second place, and the Kings keep losing. So Nashville's lead is looking even better here, 1 point lead, but still they're playing here tonight against the game that, well, they're a dog, but let's see what you guys have here in this one. Kane, let me see here. I'm trying to find it. That's it, just this one. Nashville, money line or puck line. Cal Dog likes it to go over here. I'm going to take the Predators here on the puck line at plus 1.5, minus 120-ish here, I believe. Give me the Nashville Predators here in this one against Tampa Bay. Don't doubt Tampa Bay looking good here right now, but oh my God, the Predators are minus $1.50 on the puck line. Okay, well, too late. I'm already on them. Predators puck line here in this one. All right, Nashville, this does look good though, says Timmy. Here we go. Next up, the Bruins are the Blue Jackets here in Columbus. You have one of the worst road teams against one of the best home teams. It's reflected in the $1.55 price. Yes, Columbus has lost a couple in a row here right now, including to the Sharks last night at home. But that makes this game even more important. Boston also won yesterday 6-3 to keep the winning going here right now. But got Columbus here. Like I said, terrific at home right now. They've won 9 of their last 13. Boston's won 4 of 5. They've also won 10 of the last 13 against Columbus. Maybe the line's too high to a certain extent, but again, Boston just not getting much done here on the road. They have won a couple in a row, though, over Detroit and Buffalo. So maybe they've turned that around a little bit. Those were impressive wins, and they've been very impressive of late, beating good teams. Minnesota, Buffalo, Detroit, and Winnipeg. But for Columbus here, losses to the Sharks, the Canadians, the Islanders. They did beat Philly on the road. They beat Seattle at home here. 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but Boston's been going over here of late. This feels like a pretty good game, an important game for these two teams here right now. All right, let's see, though, what we're taking here in this one with Boston there plus money, but man, this Columbus team at home. I'm going to have to lay $1.55 here. That's about as large as I can get, but I'm still going to do it here. Big card. I want to take a favorite, and I'll do it here with Columbus. It's pretty square. I don't know. Maybe it isn't square. It's square to the effect of that it's a pretty high price, right? Probably a little too high. But let's see here. Lightning money line for Larry. Oh, I'm on this game. Cal Dog, Blue Jackets home win. Plus money for the Bruins, maybe for Moon Man. And Timmy Two Shoes. Well, I can. Okay. Now here we go. A couple more here. Next up. We're going to the last game. Yeah, we're skipping the Blackhawks and the Devils, believe it or not. Devils are not going to make up 11 points, in my opinion, and pass up 4 teams to make the playoffs. And we know that the Blackhawks aren't going to the playoffs. So those teams have not been eliminated, but tonight could be the night, I think. Here we go. Stars and Flyers to wrap it up. Stars on the road here, but possibly DeSmith here in goal against Sammy Urson. Dallas has been struggling. They did just win, however, finally last time out against Pittsburgh last night, 6-3 to snap that losing streak. Meanwhile, Philadelphia was impressive again. They were on the road, but they won again. And man, they're playing good right now at the right time. And I don't know if you can not take an underdog right now that is playing decent like the Philadelphia Flyers here. They've been hanging in here every single game right now and been winning a lot of them too. Beat Detroit, beat Chicago, beat San Jose, beat LA. Did lose to Columbus at home, but still Philadelphia 16-12 against 16-12 at home. Dallas, one of the best road teams in the league, one of the best teams in the league, period. But I'm taking the Flyers here plus money at home to wrap up the show. All right, here we've got Stars in the over parlay for Cal Dog. Timmy says Stars regulation, Stars to spank them, and Philly's got tired legs. They both played yesterday, though. And Dallas is on the 3rd game of their road trip. That's it for Night Moves. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. We should get on out of here. I don't think we have anything we can rattle on or talk about here at the end of the night. We'll just be back tomorrow with more Night Moves, preview the Monday action, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. And don't forget, we got the other tournament, the other college tournament here coming up after the, I think it's after the NCAA tournament or right the day that it ends there in the college basketball crown coming up here. Don't forget that tournament. You know, that one day it'll be better than the NCAA tournament. You can go watch the college basketball crown. Teams that will be playing here in the college basketball crown as the tournament gets underway on April 1st. Oklahoma versus Colorado. Baylor versus Minnesota. Stanford versus West Virginia. Rutgers versus Creighton. So you can see the type of tournament we're going to have here. And then the finals, of course, here at T-Mobile Arena. The whole tournament's here in Vegas, by the way. They start the quarterfinals at the MGM Grand Garden and then move to the T-Mobile Arena for the semifinals and the finals. It's an 8-team bracketed tournament here at the college basketball crown. They really do have quite a criteria. The automatic bids are offered to the top 2 available teams in net rankings from each of the conferences. So it ended up being the 3rd team from the remaining teams of the Big East. Of course, some of them are default, went to the other tournaments, but Minnesota and Rutgers in there, Baylor and West Virginia we mentioned. So, and Colorado's done this tournament before also. The 3 teams that declined the bid were Cincinnati, Indiana, and Seton Hall. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. Thanks a lot, everybody, and have a great rest of your morning, and we'll see you here tomorrow. Larry took the Stars. That's going to do it. For the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.